screen starting from now on. This is the first lecture. Should be easy. So, for today's lesson, we are going to identify topic. What does it mean, the topic sentence, as well as the main idea of an essay or of a paragraph. So, this is the learning outcome. We are going to focus on topic sentence for the writing skills. And for the thesis statements, if I could not cover this for this during this class, I might give you the lecture later on during your second class, and then you could do you could watch the lecture on your own. And then we are going to, as usual, for your reading skills as well, we are going to look at the topic sentence. You have to be able to identify what are the main ideas and supporting details. Perhaps these two, they are very easy. We want to identify and examine relationship between paragraphs and within paragraph. So, before we go further, I have an example of essay over here. As usual, you have seen and you have read a lot of essays, be it in journal article or in a newspaper report, or you read a book and you could see the structure of an essay. And basically, at this level, you are expected to write for the expository essay, your essay assignment. You're expected to write 4 to 5 paragraphs of essay, for that paper. So as usual, we have to write the introductory paragraph. This is the introductory, the first one. And then most of the time, you are going to have 2 or 3 main body paragraphs. Okay, meaning that this is the first body paragraph, indicating your first idea. This is the second one. This is the third one. And then you have the conclusion over here, the concluding paragraph over here. Okay, this is basically the structure or the rough view on how your essay should be done. Okay, now, like I said earlier, we are looking at a paragraph. So this is one paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth, and fifth. Combining paragraphs together, several paragraphs together, and then you are going to get an essay. Okay, now, what does it mean by a paragraph? We are going to look at a group or specially or intentionally related sentences. As you all know, we combine sentences together. We are going to come out with a paragraph. So obviously, these sentences in a paragraph, they should revolve around a single same idea. And then the sentences they are going to develop an idea, that this particular idea that we are talking about, and then you have to talk more about that particular idea. And usually in a paragraph there is a leader. Okay, you all know this. And then it is called as topic sentence. The topic sentence is the statement of your idea. And then after that, you are going to have a couple of sentences, usually in order to spot your main idea, and they are called as supporting sentences, supporting details or supporting sentences. And at the end of your paragraph, you should have a restatement of main idea. And this is called as concluding sentence. So basically, whenever you are doing your one paragraph, there are 3 main components or 3 main things that you have to write. The first one is the leader, statement of the main idea, and we call it as topic sentence. And then you include the supporting details in the middle. And last but not least, we have the concluding sentence at the end of the paragraph. Okay, all right. So this is one example of a paragraph. I'm going to call out a person. a particular person, and you have to read this out aloud. Yeah. So let's see who is the lucky one. Hmm. Okay. Siapa? Can we ask? Hmm. Afiq lah. Afiq, are you here?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, the lucky one. Okay, Afiq. Okay, let me. Can you read this? Is this clear to you?
Clear, madam.
Okay, Afiq, let's read this.
Okay. Currently, we are becoming a cashless and checkless society, a trend that began with the credit card. Now, banks are offering debit card instead of credit cards. Debit cards allow purchases to be made by deducting money from the holder's bank account instead of being added to the monthly bill. In fact, paying bills can be done electronically and also online. People can make computer transaction via phone to pay bills by transferring money from their account to the account of whoever they owe. In the other words, the technology advancement allow us to conduct most of our business without signing a check or actually seeing the money we earn and spend.
Okay, thank you, Afiq. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
All right. So, this is an example of paragraph. In this paragraph, like we said earlier, there is a statement of main idea, and then we have the topic sentence, which is the statement of the main idea, and then we also have supporting details. So basically, you have, and as well as the concluding sentence at the end of the paragraph. Okay, now we are looking at the statement of the main idea. Obviously, if we were to say that statement of the main idea, that is the topic sentence. Okay, this is the topic sentence for the paragraph. In your examination, usually they are going to ask you, it's either there are two types of question. They are asking for the statement of idea. The first one, they are going to ask you, what is the topic sentence of paragraph number 2? And if they were to ask you that, you have to give out every and each word that is in the sentence. For example, if they ask you what is the topic sentence of paragraph number 2, okay, meaning that you have to start, give in the answer section, you have to start off with currently and until the credit card. Do not leave any word in the answer section. And if they were to ask you about what is the main idea, only what is the main idea, then you may paraphrase or you may put the main idea in other words, by using other words. But be careful, perhaps your what we call it as your new sentence might be wrong. So I suggest that you might misunderstood on how to put it by using other words. So I suggest you try to stick to the topic sentence. Just copy from currently up until the credit card. Okay, now second on. The second part of your paragraph is supporting details. The sentences should be like 3 to 4 sentences usually. And then they should be elaborating the main idea. They should be supporting the main idea. So everything here should be related to the main idea. And the third component in a paragraph, you should have a restatement of the main idea. And this is the concluding sentence. Okay. All right. Everyone, do you understand? Are you okay?
Yes, madam.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. Now, we are looking at the topic. Okay. A topic is, okay. Now, try to identify what is the topic. So meaning that this whole paragraph, what is the main idea? of this whole paragraph. Okay, now I'm going to ask somebody else to read this out loud, and then the lucky person, can we ask Fatiha Zaki, are you here? Fatiha?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, now we are looking at the topic. While you are reading, please try to figure out what is the topic, meaning what is the main idea of this paragraph. Okay, can you read this out aloud?
Okay. There are many ways that concerned consumers can do to reduce hazards or noise pollution at home. They can purchase noisy products such as garbage disposals and lawnmowers with reduced noise levels. They can also use sound-absorbing materials in their home. Carpeting can be installed instead of hard flooring, and fabric can be used in rooms that tend to be noisy. Also, people can become less noisy themselves. They can learn to avoid shouting, to close doors without slamming them, and to play radios, TV sets, and stereos at moderate levels.
Okay, and stereos at moderate level. So, what do you think is the main idea? What is the topic of this paragraph?
Um,
The answer is
um, there are many ways that concerned consumers can do to reduce hazards or noise pollution at home.
very good,
The topic
excellent.
is
Topic is
the topic is many ways that consumers can reduce the pollution at home,
okay.
the noise pollution at home.
Okay, basically the answer is actually noise pollution. The topic is about noise pollution, but then we talk for the topic is noise pollution, and then it's not and then because if you will look at all these supporting sentences, for example, garbage disposal and lawnmowers with reduced noise levels, sound absorbing materials in their homes, okay, learn to avoid shouting. They are all talking about noise pollution. But you could also say that, like the student just mentioned earlier, you could also say that the ways to reduce hazards or noise pollution at home. I'm going to accept that answer as well. Okay. All right. Now, this one, we are looking at the topic sentence. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Try to figure out what is the topic sentence for this paragraph, the same paragraph. Okay, 5 seconds. Try to guess. Okay, the answer is obviously the first one. The first one, it is the leader of sentences of this paragraph, and it is the topic sentence of the paragraph. Okay, like I said earlier, they are the sentences after that. They are all talking about the methods or the ways on how to reduce hazards and noise pollution at home. Now, the second one, we have the second example. Uh, I'm going to ask another person to read this out aloud so that you guys are going to pay attention. Can we ask Hanan, are you here? Hanan Mahadi.
Yes, madam.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Can you see this clearly?
Yes.
Okay, now, excellent. Let's read this.
The physical complaints of neurotics, people who are overly anxious, pessimistic, hostile, or tense, were once largely ignored by physicians. Many doctors believe that the frequent complaints of neurotics were exaggerations. However, new research shows that neurotics are in fact more likely to have physical problems. Specifically, researchers found neurotics stand a greater chance of having five particular ailments: arthritis, asthma, ulcer, headache, and heart disease. In addition, there is evidence that people who are pessimistic in their teens and twenties are more likely to become ill or die in their 40s.
Okay, now you have read that. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds to figure out which one is the topic sentence of this paragraph. What do you think? Which one? Which one is the sentence?
Uh, the first sentence.
The first sentence. All right.
Yes.
Okay, that is incorrect, unfortunately. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The answer is it is actually the third one. All right, because let's read this all over again. The physical complaints of neurotics, people who are overly anxious, pessimistic, hostile, or tense, were once largely ignored by physicians. Okay, that is that. Many doctors believe that the frequent complaint of neurotics were exaggerations. However, new research shows that neurotics are in fact more likely to have physical problems. So the first one, they talk about the complaints of neurotics and and then what kind of persons, physical, what kind of example of physical complaints of neurotics. These are the people who are, so these are the characteristics. Number two, it says that many doctors says that this thing they these complaints, people with these complaints, they are just stating, they are just exaggerating. Yeah. And then, however, new research shows that neurotics are in fact more likely to have physical problems. So this one, the first one talk about the something, but the third one is actually first that turns out to be true. So number 3 is the topic sentence. And then later on, specifically, researchers found neurotics stand a greater chance of having 5 particular elements. And these kind of elements, they talk about physical problems, the physical problems. So the sentences before and sentences after, they're all talking about the physical problems that people with neurotics will likely get. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you. All right. So now we have the third example over here. Let's see who's going to read this. Okay, can we have Ain Amira? Are you here? Nur Ain Amira.
Yes, madam.
Very good, excellent. Okay, I'm going to okay, please read this.
A study at one prison shows that owning a pet can change a violent prison inmate into a more caring person. Another study discovered that senior citizens, both those living alone and those in boring nursing homes, became more interested in life when they were given pets to care for. Even emotionally distraught children have been observed to smile and react with interest if there is a cuddling kitten or puppy to hold. Pets then can be a means of therapy for many kinds of individuals.
Okay, thank you. Now we are looking at the topic sentence. I'm looking for another person. All right, I'm looking for us the next person. Thank you, the students. This now. Okay, now. Thank you, Ain. I'm going to ask Saiha Amni. Saiha Amni, are you here? Saiha, are you here? Okay, she's not here. Or her microphone is not working. Next, can we ask Siti Hajar? Siti Hajar Ahmad Fauzi, are you here? Hajar. Very good. Excellent. Okay, now we have read this paragraph and I'm looking for the topic sentence. All right. What do you think is the topic sentence of this paragraph?
The first sentence.
First sentence. A study at a prison shows that owning a pet can change a violent person inmate into a more caring person. Okay, that is according to you the topic sentence. Let's see whether you are correct or not. Unfortunately, the answer is the last one. Sorry, the topic sentence is the last one. Okay, pets then can be a means of therapy for many kinds of individuals. Okay, bear in mind that sometimes the topic sentence might not be the first sentence. Usually, in most cases, it is the first sentence, but not always like that. So you have to be careful, and sometimes you have to ask yourself whether the first sentence is actually the topic sentence or not, because it could be that the last sentence is the topic sentence. Because if you were to look at the last sentence, pets then can be a means of therapy for many kinds of individual. Okay, if you were to look at the first sentence, it says that a pet can change a violent prison inmate, okay, into a more caring person. That is an example, a violent prison inmate. Second sentence, we are talking about senior citizens. Okay, third sentence, we are talking about emotionally disturbed children. So the sentences before that, they are all examples, supporting details that support the topic sentence. So for this case, your topic sentence is the last sentence. Yeah. Okay, now we are looking at the main idea for this one. Okay, I'm going to ask another person to read this out loud. Let's see who's the lucky one. Currently we have Aiman Nakib Azhar, are you here? Aiman Nakib.
Yes, madam.
Very good, excellent. Okay, now we have this paragraph. Please read this out loud and then you are going to give me the main idea. What is the main idea?
The main ideas.
Read this first.
Okay. One myth about exercise is that if a woman lifts weight, she will develop muscle as large as a man's muscle without extra male hormones. However, a woman cannot increase her muscle bulk as much as a man's muscle. Another misconception about exercise is that it increase the appetite. Actually, regular exercise stabilize the blood sugar level, which prevent hunger pain. Some people also think that a few minutes of exercise a day or one session is enough, but at least 3 solid workouts a week are needed for muscular and cardiovascular health.
Okay, now you have read this paragraph. What do you think is the main idea?
The first sentence.
The first sentence, are you sure?
Yes.
One myth about exercise that if a woman lifts weight, she will develop muscles as large as a man. And the second one, it talks about without extra male hormone, however, a woman cannot increase her muscle bulk as much as a man's muscle. Another misconception about exercise is that it increases the appetite. And number three, regular exercise stabilizes the blood sugar level, which prevents hunger pains. Some people also think that a few minutes of exercise a day or one session is enough, but at least 3 solid workouts a week are needed for muscular and cardiovascular health. The answer is we are talking about the main idea. So there is no literal statement over there. But then the answer is there are many misconceptions about exercise and people still believe. That is the main idea. Because the first one talk about one kind of misconception. And then over here, it talk about it talks about another misconception, the second one. And then over here, the third misconception. So it's not every sentences. The first part, second part, and third part, they're all talking about misconception. So the main idea, there is no topic sentence. The main idea is there are many misconceptions, or you could just say there are the main idea of the paragraph is about misconceptions of exercise that people still believe. If we were to ask you what is the main idea, you could paraphrase, put it in by using other words. But then if they were to ask you about the topic sentence, then you have to copy and paste the sentence from the text. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, now I have some activities for you guys here. And then this link, I have posted the link on our Padlet, Is it here? 231. Yeah, I need you guys. Okay, it is here. The link, this is for our lecture. It is here, this one. There are two activities that you should complete today. This is the first one. And then after you have completed this address, sorry. After you have completed this, and this is the example, this is the exercise. Please do it. You are going to get a result. Okay, the result reporter. For this result reporter, please do screenshot. And then when you are doing your attendance over here, this is a different link from last week. So make sure you go to the week 2, session 1, and then the attendance is here. For this attendance, there is a section of uploading a picture of your activity. Once you have screenshot your picture of this, please upload it here. Yeah, meaning that you have to complete this exercise first. Only then you could fill in the attendance form. Okay. Now, the second part later on, I have to finish the slide first before this is the second activity. Okay. I'm going to continue. Please do that, meaning that this is the first activity. Main idea and supporting details. This is just like what I mentioned earlier. We are going to read this. So, can we have Aronisa Nasarudin, are you here? Aronisa. She's trying to open her mic. Okay, unmute the mic. But she does not succeed. Okay, it's okay, Karanisa. I'm going to pick up somebody else. Hazim, are you here, Muhammad Hazim?
Yes, madam.
Okay, very good, excellent. So Hazim, you are going to read this out loud, and then try to identify which one is the topic sentence. I'm asking for topic sentence, but then you have to read this first.
Studies reveal that people's first name can have an influence on them. Some names reflect on people in a positive way. For example, one survey showed that American men consider the name Susan to be very sexy. Susan. In another study in Britain, the participant thought Tony to be the name of someone very friendly. However, other names can have a negative impact. In one study, for instance, teacher gave lower grades to essays supposedly written by boys named Hubert and Elmer than to the very same essay when they credit to boys with more popular names. Another study found girls with unpopular names did worse on IQ and achievement tests than girls with more appealing names.
Okay. Now, we are going to identify the topic sentence. What do you think is which one do you think the topic is this topic sentence?
Studies reveal that people's first name can have an influence on them.
Very good, excellent. Yeah, that is true. That is correct. Thank you. So this is indeed the first sentence is indeed the topic sentence because after that you could see that these supporting details they are talking in two ways. All right, they are talking in a positive ways, and then they give out example. Right, they give out examples how in positive way the name have an influence on the person, and then they also give out how a person could be negatively impacted based on their first name. So basically, the main idea is the influence of people's first name on that. But then, if we are looking for the topic sentence, you have to give out that studies reveal that people's first name can have an influence on them. Uh, Full stop. Okay, full stop. So, I think that is all for the first slide. Okay, this is the first session. Where the first slide, we are going to look at the second slide. But they are quite the same, yeah. But then I just want you to look at this. The structure of a passage. What is a paragraph? Like we said earlier, you know what does it mean by a paragraph. Basically, a paragraph is a combination of sentences, okay? And then it tells you about one subject of or area. And then in each and every sentence in the paragraph must give out information talking about the topic. If you have a topic about my hobbies, so the sentences in the paragraph must be revolving about your hobbies. The sentences in the paragraphs must support and give examples of the main idea. This is about the supporting details. And then the first sentences always, this is always should be indented, the first one. Okay, what does it mean by being indented? This is what we call as being indented. You put some spaces before the first word in a paragraph. So always do that. I notice that some students or even some writers they do not do this, but formally, if you were to write an essay, you have to do this. Bad example of paragraph. Now we are going to look at why this paragraph is a bad example of paragraph. So we are going to ask one student, read this is out loud. Can we have Izati? Are you here, Nurul Izati? Binti Moha. Very good. Now, all right. Please read this out loud.
Okay. I live in a house in West Provo. I like the view from our house. We have lived there since November.
Uh-uh.
We also have a car that I like very much. We were in an accident a few months ago. We hit a deer that was crossing the street at night. I feel sorry for the deer, but it cost a lot of money to repair the car.
Okay. Thank you very much. What do you think is the main idea of this paragraph? The main idea. You are looking at the main idea. So this paragraph basically talk about these persons.
This person had an accident and may cost a lot of cost to repair the car.
Okay, are you sure it is talking about what is the main? If I were to ask you, in this paragraph, this writer is trying to tell us about his what?
Story
Story.
or experience.
Okay, now you feel bizarre, you feel confused, right? You feel confused about what is the actually the main idea of this paragraph. That is why This is a bad paragraph because content of the paragraph is all over. We are not sure whether this person is trying to talk about the house or about the car or about the accident. So this is a bad example. Students shouldn't do this, okay? All right, thank you very much. Now, have another example, but then this one is a good example. Let's us try to find another person to read this out aloud. Can we have Shamira? Are you here, Shamira Aswadi? Shamira.
Yes, I am.
All right, Shamira. We have another example over here, and it is a good one. While you read this out aloud, try to identify what is the main idea of this paragraph. Okay, go on.
My husband and I bought our first house last November and we love it. It is located in West Provo near Utah Lake. Although we cannot see the lake from our house, we do have a beautiful view of Mount Timpanogos. Our house has 3 bedrooms, two bed, 2 bathrooms, a living room and a family room, and a large kitchen and dining area. We also have a large backyard and a small garden. We are very happy to own our own home, and I hope that we will live there for several years.
It's a very good example. Shamira, try to figure out what is the main idea.
Um,
Basically, this paragraph talk about
their first house.
Very good, excellent, Shamira. Okay, so if somebody asks you what is the main idea of this paragraph, obviously it is the house, the first house of this couple, because the first one obviously talk about we bought our first my husband and I bought our first house, and then the second one it talks about the location, located in West Provo near Utah, and then talk about the scenery. Although we cannot see the lake from our house, we do have a beautiful view of Mount Timpanogos. And then after that, they talk more about the rooms in the house. And then they talk about the backyard, garden, and whatnot. And then last but not least, their feeling towards having the house. So this is one example of good paragraph. Yeah. Okay. Whenever you write a paragraph or whenever you write an essay, basically these are the most four famous reasons when you are the purposes. Yeah, the reasons why you are doing an essay, why you are writing an essay or writing a paragraph. The first one, you want to describe something. The second one, you want to tell a story. And number three, you want to explain something. And number four, you want to persuade. It's either persuade to buy something or you want to change somebody's mind. For number four. Okay, parts of paragraph, we have covered this. Obviously, we have the main idea. And if you were to jot down the main idea, it's going to be the topic sentence. And then you have the supporting details. Yeah, the sentences that support your main idea. And then we have a closing statement or concluding sentence at the end of your paragraph. Bear in mind that sometimes we don't have the closing statement, but usually in the examination, they are going to give out all these three components in a paragraph: a topic sentence, supporting details, and a closing statements. Okay, now this is another example of a paragraph. We have the topic sentence, supporting details in the middle, and a closing statement at the end of the paragraph. Okay, now you have to think of a good topic sentence for these sets of supporting details. I'm giving you a couple of sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sentences, and these are the supporting details. Okay, now try to think of a good topic sentence for these supporting details. Okay, I'm going to read this out aloud. Penguin moms lay the eggs and afterwards leave to get food for 2 months. Penguin dads incubate the eggs until it hatches. They take turns caring for the chick and feeding in the sea. Once it hatches, the young stays sheltered in the pouch of the mother while the father brings food. Okay, one possible topic sentence that you could have for this is penguin care very much of their offspring. Right? This is one example. You might come out with another example, or you might want to come out with a topic sentence of your own. Okay, basically this should be at the very top, and then these sentences, they are the supporting details. Okay, like I said earlier, the supporting details commonly they are at the very beginning of your paragraph, but it does not necessarily to be there always. It could be in at the end, right? For example, like this one, it is at the end, or it could be in the middle. In the middle, like this one, okay? Government policies to protect animals from overharvesting are essential to keep species from the brink of extinction. I'm pretty sure that the first part, they talk about this, and the latter part also, they talk about the policies, the government policies, yeah? Okay. And it's also possible that you have this kind of topic sentence at the very beginning as well as at the end of the paragraph. Okay, now, topic sentence, Arizona has been thinking about extending the school year from May to June, but I think that they should not extend the school years. What are some details you would expect to see in this paragraph? So what are the content that should be included in the paragraph? What do you think? The answer might be, actually, they are going to include the reasons. Perhaps they are going to give out reason number 1 and reason number 2, why they should extend the school year from May to July, and then why they should not do this. Okay, all right. Closing statement of the paragraph. I'm going to ask somebody to read this out aloud, and then we are going to think of a closing statement. Okay, let's see who is the Zul Arif. Are you here? Zul Arif Yahya.
Yes, madam.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, now please read this out loud, and then if possible, try to think of a closing statement, a concluding statement, sentence. Okay, go ahead.
Egypt is most famous of their pyramids. There are over 100 pyramids of Egypt, but that information is unknown to many people. The most popular and well-known pyramids are the Pyramid of Giza. They are located in Cairo. Pyramids were tombs of pharaohs. To complete the pyramids, workers had to lift millions of limestone blocks, the weight of average of 2.5 tons each. They did not have iron tools or
Wheel vehicle.
The workers carry each stone by hand, pull them on fleets, and lift them up mud ramps to be placed on the slowly rising structure.
Okay, thank you very much. The workers carried each stone by hand, pulled them on sleds, and lifted them up mud ramps to be placed on the slowly rising structure. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so a closing statement. One possible closing statement is this, yeah? Because we could say that the first paragraph is the topic paragraph, because this whole paragraph talk about the pyramids and why the pyramids, they are very famous among tourists. Why Egypt is very famous with their pyramids. And then one closing statement could be this. That is the reason why Egypt is packed with tourists all year around. So you could just put the sentence, the concluding sentence, after slowly rising structure after this. Okay, now, when you are doing your essay, obviously you want to make it sound smoother as well as the flow is better. And in order to do that, you could include transitional markers or transitional words, and they are transitional words or phrases. Okay, the purpose of using transitional markers or transitional words or phrases so that they link idea better and they could relate to one another better. Okay, example of transitional phrases are all these things. Yeah, in the same way, similarly, likewise, why, on the other hand, although, however. Obviously, there are many types of transitional words and phrases. For example, the purpose is to support, or another purpose is to conflict. Yeah, to say that this, however, this is not true. Thus is this is this. Okay, there are so many types of the purposes of transitional words and phrases. As a result, saying that you have said something, and then as a result of those things, this is the blah blah blah. Therefore, finally, in conclusion, there are so many. So later on, please go here to the slides. There are 2 slides and try to look at the transition words and phrases. Yeah, these are the examples of purposes or reasons you using transitional words and phrases. Agreements, addition, similarly. Alright, you want to say that you agree with something. You want to add something after you have said something. Or you want to say that this is quite similar to this. Okay? Or you want to rebut, saying that this is this, however, this is this. Or although this is this, this is this. All right. So there are many reasons that why you want to use transitional words and phrases. You also want to show a conclusion. You want to come up with a conclusion. Then you could say this, or summary or statement of whatever points that you have mentioned. Okay, for the transitional words and phrases, I also need you. I also come up with an activity, and it is on Padlet as well. Right, it is this one. Okay, and I need you to do this in pair. So find a partner, and then both of you guys could find a short essay, paragraph, or an essay or a paragraph. And then I think that essay would be better because there are lots of words and paragraphs in it. And highlight the transitional words and phrases in the text. It's not text. In the text. Okay. Okay, submit this on WhatsApp group. Okay, you could just go to the WhatsApp group and then submit this on the WhatsApp group. Please make sure that you label the file with your name and your partner's name. Make sure you give out the file, and then after that, put some captions saying that this is done by Siti Nurhaliza and Muhammad Hazim. Yeah? Okay. I think that is the end of this class. This is the example of essay just now. If you would like to look at it, yeah, you could. And then I think this is the end of this lecture. Do you have any questions, students? Any questions that things that you do not understand? No. All right. If you do, just go to the chat room and no. If you do have any concerns or anything that you do not understand, you could go to the WhatsApp group and ask your question, post your questions over there, and then I will answer to your inquiries in the WhatsApp group as well, so that everybody else, they are going to be benefited from the question as well. Okay, the deadline. We are going to talk about the deadline. Today is Tuesday. I'm going to give you until at the end of this week, meaning the Friday 5 o'clock to do this. Yeah, to do this is very easy. After this, the first activity is very easy. After we have ended this class, immediately go to the websites, and then do this, and then you could fill in the attendance form. The second part, you could have another 2 to 3 days, and then the deadline is on Friday 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock. If you don't have any questions, as usual, I think I'm going to end this meeting right now. It is recorded, so if you do not understand anything, you could always go back here, and then I will upload a YouTube link to this, and you could always watch this all over again. Okay, thank you everybody, and Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.